No, it's just something that happens throughout the game. Some people have, their strengths, and like you said, certain people on our team is able to make that shot, so that's one of our strengths that we can do. So you don't really don't like, think about, what's going on. You're just playing basketball. You're just going with the flow, and if the shot is there, you take it, and if not, you go to the basket, and if not, you create and then hit a three. I mean, it's just kind of how basketball happens for our team. We just keep creating that for each other.
All right, we'll go next to Phil Harrison. Phil.
Hey, CJ, you were around the program last year, obviously, and you've seen a lot more than even last year, and even some years previously, obviously, that you weren't a part of. But this team seems to be improving at a bigger rate than last year's from start to finish. What would you attribute that to, based on what you've seen this year versus last year?
I was just saying, practice each and every day. We just go hard each and every day and just worry about us and what we can do, to get better as a team. We don't worry pretty much like who we're playing next. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of worry about us first and practice just getting better, pushing each other, just doing the right things each and every day. And what happens in the game, just play as hard as you can, just do everything that you can for your team to win. And we'll live with the results after that. So, each and every day in practice, we're just worrying about getting better.
Okay, and how's your hand feeling a few games back here?
I was feeling really good. I'm still doing treatment after games. I still, wear my splint to, make sure it's recovering. To get all the way back to 110%. I feel really good, though, strengthening each and every day. So I'm just keep working on it, keep getting better, keep making plays for my team to win.
Thanks, CJ.
All righty, we'll go next to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
CJ, during the second half, you guys had it basically in double digits the whole way. They did cut it to 9, I think, once or twice, and looked like maybe they forced you guys in a few uncomfortable positions. Did you guys get a little comfortable in the second half?
I wouldn't say comfortable. Michigan State is a really good team. We know what they were going to do. They just picked up the pressure a little bit. We just weren't making the right reads at that time. So, yeah, it's just something that, we got to get better in the second half down the stretch, making better plays, being stronger with the ball. I know I had a turnover. So, just little things that we got to do, down the stretch in the second half against a really good team. So credit to them, making that, the run that they had. And then, we made ours at the end.
What kind of spirit is this team playing with right now? It just seems like you guys are pretty connected. You seem pretty dialed in for large stretches of the game. Like, what? I know winning helps that, but what kind of spirit do you guys seem to have as a group right now?
I would just say a positive spirit. We all connected, like you said. We all understand what we need to do. We all know what our roles are on this team, and we do it to the highest level, whether it's making threes or playing defense or, just being out there getting an offensive rebound. Whatever you need to do in the minutes that you play, just do it at a high level. And I just feel like we all got an understanding of that. And we just, we go from there. We just play as hard as we can.
All righty, we'll go next to Patrick Murphy, 247.
CJ, Musa's the guy who some nights he's playing 2-3 minutes. Some nights he plays 16 or whatever he did tonight. How important is it to have a guy like that who can come in and contribute, but maybe isn't getting the regular minutes that some of you guys get?
It means a lot. Kind of just like I said, we know our roles on this team. Musa has a really good understanding, what he brings to the team. Everybody's confident in Musa, whether it's defense, attacking the rim, getting offensive rebounds, or guarding the best player. We all believe in him, and he knows what he needs to do, once he gets in the game, and he does it at a high level, brings energy. So, yeah, we believe in him. We need that, for us to win, no matter, like you said, if he plays 2 minutes or 20 minutes or the whole game. It doesn't matter. We just believe in him, and he does his job.
Do you see him at all get frustrated when there's stretches where he doesn't play, or is he a guy who just, doesn't care what it is as long as you guys are winning?
Oh, yeah, I've never seen Musa be frustrated or talk back to a coach or be mad or get into himself. He's always for the team. He always puts us first. And I feel like that's how our whole team is in general. So, I mean, no, I've never seen Musa, have any negative energy, for our team.
All right, we've got time for just a couple more. We'll go to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Hey, CJ, part of the reason for Mishi being here so early is maybe obviously getting some extended time to play college basketball, but also to learn from you and learn the position from you. So when you see him getting chewed out by Coach Holtmann after, not diving on a loose ball, stuff like that, what's kind of your role in situations like that? Do you say anything to him? Or?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Me and Michi got a great understanding of each other. And he's just learning. I mean, he's young. Like, he skipped high school to, be here at the middle of the season in a Big Ten conference. So that's not easy at all for him. That's a big adjustment to do, especially having been here through the summer and preseason and things like that. So he's just in a really tough situation. Teams are rolling right now. So it's just little things that he has to learn, which he understands. He's willing to listen to coaches or myself. We have a really good relationship. He's not afraid to ask questions. or ask for help or anything like that. So, I just step in, when he wants help or asks us a question, or if I see something, I give my input, and, he just goes from there. He plays really hard. He's a good kid. So I can only see him going up from here.
Thanks.
All righty, and last question for CJ. We'll go to Bruce Hooley. Bruce.
CJ, you mentioned some of your inattention to detail or failures on the offensive end that might have let Michigan State back in this to the extent that they did get back in it.
Mhm.
I wonder how you'd rate your defense. It's an odd box score when you're ahead of a team by a pretty healthy margin the whole game and they shoot more free throws than you. What did you think of your defense today?
It's just certain little things, we got to do at the end of the stretch. Whether it's fouling, I feel like we had a lot of bad fouls in that second half, whether it was jump shots. I know I had one that I fouled on a jump shot, or offensive rebounds. They had a lot of second chance points. So, making sure teams don't get second chances and rebounding. So, it's just little things that we got to get better on. And I feel like that we will improve on after we watch film and know we need to improve on. But, it's just little things that, you just got to stay on and not get comfortable or not play entitled and things like that, just to keep playing with that force and energy for the whole 40.
Thank you.
All righty, CJ. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
All righty, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll have you start with an opening statement.
Okay. Listen, as I've mentioned here a number of times, I mentioned on the CBS broadcast, a ton of respect for Michigan State and the team that they have. Obviously they're coming back from a tough deal with coming back from COVID and playing a couple times here. So I think there's not a better late season coach in the country than Tom. So obviously when we see them here again in a few weeks, we know it's going to be a much different team. I'm proud of our guys' effort. I thought we were able to control certain aspects of the game and the things we focused on. I think they took into the game plan. We still have some possessions that we need to fix and some things we need to do better. That kind of weighs on me as much as anything, but really good win for our team, and a really good win for us here moving forward.
All righty, we'll start it out with Steve Hellwagon, 247.
Yeah, Coach, obviously they struggled at Rutgers the other night, lost by 30 over there. And you guys kind of held them in the same realm, 32% shooting for them tonight. I know you fouled them probably 10 more times than you wanted to, but otherwise, just your thought about defensive effort and the results that you got and making life tough on them overall.
I thought we were able to make it difficult for them in transition, where they're so good, Steve. And they missed some shots. Listen, they missed some shots that I think they'll make, and they'll certainly make it their place, and they'll make once they get their legs back. There's no question. But I thought overall we did some things defensively that were good. And I thought we had, outside of fouling, Steve, I thought we did pretty good job on our assignments, but we had too many. We fouled too much, and that's again my fault. We got to get better at that. But really solid defensive effort overall.
CJ Walker looks like he's kind of getting back into the flow of things, and about 3 minutes to go, he came off a curl and hit that shot at the top of the key. This game was kind of teetering one way or the other, and he hits that shot, and you guys had some breathing room. And just your thought of having him to help ride out those moments.
I thought it was a big play. Yeah, it was a big play. He got to his right hand pull up, which he's really effective at, and it's great having him back. It's been great having him back. I thought his ball handling was important for us, but I thought our guys did a good job kind of getting what we wanted there.
Thanks.
All righty, we'll go next to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Chris, I know there's obviously things you're going to dissect about this game, some things you like, some things you don't like, but it seems like in general your team is playing with a pretty good spirit. And I know winning is some of that, but can you just, I don't know, share what you see on that end? I know that can carry you sometimes, maybe when the world is kind of crazy like this, but what kind of spirit do you think your team is playing with right now?
Yeah, really good, Adam. I think I've told you guys this, that we're very much a work in progress. That's still the case for us, but there's no doubt that this group has been a phenomenal group to coach. It really has. In the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a lot of question marks about our team, it's been a phenomenal group to coach. The challenge for us is getting better, and you can still lose games and be getting better. You can still lose games in this league and be getting better. And I think the challenge for us overall is us getting better here in this closing month and a half stretch and improving in some of those areas. But our group's competitive spirit really from day one, Adam, has been tremendous. And their connectedness has been really good. And hopefully we can finish that way here the last couple months.
Did you feel in the second half that you had the lead, and like Steve was asking you, they made it a verging on dicey there for a minute or two, but did you feel that you guys got a little complacent with the lead, or how did you see the game change? You were up like 18 or 20, and then they started to cut into it.
Yeah, I just think we have to be better. We had some sloppy possessions. We just got to be better, and we've got to be better in those moments. And it's not easy, or else everybody could do that. And there's sometimes you're going to play, and teams are going to make a run on you because they're good, and it's the best league in the country, and it's talented teams you're playing. And Michigan State's obviously a talented team, and give them credit for that. But I did think a couple of the possessions there were self-inflicted. At the same time, listen, a Tom Izzo team's they're not gonna fold. They're not gonna quit. They're gonna fight till the very end. And we expected that, but there are certain things that I'm looking at and saying we do have to clean up.
All righty, we'll go next to Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Hey, Chris, you mentioned CJ's pull up there. We've seen what EJ can do for you kind of in the high post. And we've even seen Seth kind of step into some long twos. Just what makes a team difficult to guard when they are as efficient shooting kind of in the mid range as you guys appear to be with multiple players?
Well, I think there are times, Bill, where we can put teams out there that have a lot of shooting and then have versatility in how we play offensively and defensively. And, Dwayne's obviously going through a spell of inefficiency, but everybody understands how good of a shooter he is and how he can take over a game. And then obviously Justin has proven that over time here. So it creates some opportunity on the floor for space. And in this league, when everybody defends with great purpose in terms of their scouting, having a space out on the floor is really important. Listen, I for 10 years now, I've studied analytics and the analytics of long twos and threes and layups and shot spectrums. And, we could go on a long 30-minute conversation. It would bore you to death, but we could talk about shot spectrum and what's a good shot and don't take long twos. We want our guys to play into their strengths. And EJ Liddell, through all of the evaluation and charting that we've done, is a very efficient 2-point shooter. And in some cases, those are long twos. So we're gonna give guys freedom to do that. We're not going to force guys to play away just because analytics says that. Having said that, we're aware of it and we're aware of the importance of shot spectrum and overall quality of shot.
And I guess along those lines, just your team's, I guess, man-to-man, or I guess like on an individual basis, their ability to understand what is their best shot. Like how well do you think this group understands that?
Good. Probably as good as any group as we've had, as I've coached as a head coach. Some of that comes from experience, Bill, as you know, and playing together, coaching together. And some of that comes from maturity. When guys play to their strengths, there's a freedom there, and they look like the good players they are. When you fight that, it can backfire on you. But guys have really, I think, embraced that. We still don't always take our team's best shot, but all in all, our shot quality has been pretty good.
All righty, we'll go next to Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on SM.
I think as much as anything, our guys' commitment to getting better and to taking learning from one moment to the next. I think that Penn State game and finishing like we did was really, really an important moment for us as a group because we improved upon some of the things we had not done well the week before. I think, again, in this league, the moment you feel like you've got it figured out, or you feel like you are in a certain place, you get humbled really quickly. So for us, it's always about focusing on the bricks and not the wall, the daily focus of getting better, because it just can be really humbling playing in this league, and you can get humbled really quickly.
All righty, next up, Patrick Murphy, 247.
Chris, you got asked about Musa when we talked to you the other day. And I'm curious what goes into the decision to get him into games. Is it just matchup based? Today's 16 minutes. I think he's 4-2 the last 2 games. Is it matchup? Is it certain things
Practice.
You guys see? Okay.
Practice.
Okay. And how do you see him handle when he doesn't have, the games like today where he contributes as much?
Bottom line is Musa practiced well the last couple of days, and he's practiced well in the past, but I thought we felt him in practice, and I thought Listen, at this point, what players have to understand is you're always evaluating how guys practice. And if they don't quite bring the energy in practice, maybe somebody else that brings the energy deserves that opportunity. So I thought he practiced really well. And I just felt like he deserved a look. You're right. His minutes were good. Maybe he didn't have the quote unquote offensive impact, but I still thought he had a really good impact on our game.
All righty, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Chris, you've the last couple of years been really good at maybe tempering expectations. You know, when they get out of hand a little bit. You've been right every single time when telling people to hold on with some of you. You're always right with it. But I mean, now that you've been through a month of Big Ten play, you've got some non-conference games under your belt, and you're kind of entering this last stretch of games here. How do you feel about your team? And do you feel like you need to temper any expectations right now?
Well, I don't really pay much attention to what quote unquote the expectations would be. I totally understand the question, Stephen, and it's a good one. I think I don't bother myself really with paying a whole lot of attention to any of that. I think at the end of the day, as I said, I think this league, you can look and you can say, wow, that team's really, really struggling. They've lost 5 straight. And then in 2 weeks later, you can say, wow, that's the hottest team in the league. They're a top 15 team in the country. There's tremendous swings in this league. So you try to focus on getting better. What I have said, Stephen, from day one about this group, and I don't think I've come off this, is I love their maturity. We've got a group that has a really nice blend of older and young guys. We've got talented players. But I love this group. I've loved coaching this group from day one. We've loved as a coaching staff. So I think their maturity's good. And come on in. And I feel really good about coaching this group. So that gives me optimism that hopefully we can keep getting better.
And then with CJ, Michi's minutes are going to be what they are this year. He's not technically supposed to be here. He's a high school senior technically. When you have to chew him out for clearly not hustling on a play, does CJ maybe say anything to him on the sideline? What's that relationship there when which clearly he's here to learn from CJ Walker this year?
Yeah, Michi's going to be a terrific player. Terrific player. He's going to be a terrific player. He just, I think all in all, I think he's going to play more at times. You're right. He should still be in high school, but Michi was great. We just talked through. I thought there was a loose ball that he probably needed to get to, but he's done such great things for this group already, and I know he's going through the rest of the season.
Ready. We'll go next to Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Chris, can you hear me? It's a miracle if you can.
Rob, I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate you figuring out whatever the technical issues are and getting them fixed.
It's probably operator error. Anyhow, Justice Suing, does he get the credit he deserves as being a tough guy? Just watching him go into tough areas, dive for loose balls, and what do you like best? What do you like best about him? He's getting tougher. I think he's getting tougher. He certainly didn't come in with that reputation, but he's a physical, talented kid. And I think what people have always said is, okay, he's got to play with more motor and he's got to play tougher. And that's our job to help him understand that areas where he's not doing that as well. But he's, again, a phenomenal kid to coach. And I thought today, particularly the second half, we don't win the game without him having the second half he did.
All righty, we'll go next to Colin Hass-Hill, 11 Warriors. Colin? Oh. All right, let's try Bruce Hooley. Bruce.
Rob, help Colin with his audio, please.
Chris, your whole message the other night after Penn State was, we don't give away a win no matter how much we might have helped the other team. Today, you seem a little bit more exacting with the fouls on the defensive end. And it's very odd you're ahead of a team the entire game and they shoot more free throws than you do.
Yeah.
So at Northwestern and Purdue at home are two games that I would say, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but two games I would say where you helped the other team come back and beat you.
Mhm.
So how do you balance that? What you said the other night, we're happy to win, but you know who you have coming up and you know what happens in the tournament when you help the other team.
You know, I think you're right, Bruce. I think that I'll always reflect on, you know, you'll always reflect on that stuff more as a coach than just just like you take losses way you feel losses 10-1 more than you do wins. So I think I'll always reflect on that. You know, we've got to do better in that area. We've got to coach it better. We've got to play it better. We've got to foul less. You know, we've got room for growth. You know, I think, you know, both of those games you mentioned, you know, I think I don't want to take anything away from those teams. We played Northwestern when they were as hot as they've been all year. And obviously Purdue came in and played, you know, they did some things that really bothered us, but I think you have to own the fact that in some of those games we consistently do some things right now that we just have to get better at. And we've got to understand that as a group, and I've got to get them to understand it.
And you're always quick to take the blame for things that I sometimes wonder how they're your fault. You said today it's your fault you fouled too much. I don't think you're out there. So how is it your fault you fouled too much?
You know, we obviously haven't got it through to them enough about now. I will say this, Bruce, that the game, and I don't know how to explain this. Both crews, the last two games have been really good crews, but the game has been called differently. It's been called tighter. So that, you know, has that been some type of edict from top down that the game needs to be called a little bit tighter? I don't know, but it feels like it has been. And we've not adjusted very well, Bruce, and I've not gotten that message through to our guys enough.
All righty, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.